Hey guys, this is Mel, and I'm here to talk about Legends of Tomorrow, episode 205, titled Compromise, which premiered Thursday, November 10, 2016 on the CW. So guys, quick reminders before I start. I'm recording this the same night I watched the episode for the first time, so you are getting my genuine first impression of the episode, as well as any thoughts, theories, and predictions that came from watching this episode. Also, this video is being made for fun. I'm not doing this for money or anything. This is just a fun way to keep track of what I first thought about the episode, because as you know, when you talk more about something with other people, you're going to get new perspectives on it. It's going to change how you first saw things. So I wanted to keep it real and keep note of what I actually thought when I first saw this episode, as well as keep my predictions in line just in case I actually do get some right or not later on. Also, any photos used in this video are probably going to be from Google. They're just edited to make everything look unified. Otherwise, if it's a photo of myself in it, then that one's obviously mine. So also another reminder, guys, I haven't read any of the comics, so any thoughts, theories, anything like that, I'm getting it solely off of what I'm seeing on the screen. I have no inside information that I would get if I read the comics, so I have no idea if a name or an attribute is significant or not unless it's actually developed on screen. So with that said, guys, let's start with the 10-minute clock and let's begin. So something new that we learned in this episode. So we figure out what a time quake was, and it's something that the team is actually going to be trying to track. It's pretty much a little something that happens before a time aberration happens. So Nathan creates a little device to detect a time quake, and it actually goes off for Washington, D.C. in 1987. So the team goes there, and they find out that Damien Darhk is actually in town acting as an advisor to President Reagan. So there's that. So something new that came up, Sarah realizes that Damien Darhk is working with a speedster. Also, we see Eobard Thawne, aka the Reverse Flash, taking Damien Darhk on a time travel adventure, especially after Sarah revealed to Damien Darhk his future demise to him. So there's that with the Legion of Doom over there. Also, we see Sarah managing to steal a certain artifact that Damien Darhk was trying to get. So there's that. It's uncertain if it was something that Damien needed specifically or if it's something that Eobard Thawne needed, but it's now in the hands of the Legends team. So there's that. This episode also shows Ray working with Heatwave to try to become the next Captain Cold, only to come to an understanding between them that Ray needs to be himself, and that they don't need to have another Leonard Snart copycat, I guess you can say. We also have a little bonding moment between Nathan and Amaya. They learn what happened to the JSA after Amaya left them in 1942 through Obsidian. We also find out that Amaya and Rex Tyler had planned to leave the JSA after World War II had ended, but that was derailed when he was killed. She claims that there was nothing romantic going on between them, but I'm pretty sure it was hinted that them leaving together, it was kind of their way of starting anew together, if that makes sense. Also, Amaya tells Nathan about his grandfather, Commander Steele, being the one who used to sing to the team whenever things were tough, whenever they were traveling to a mission or something. He would always sing to uplift their spirits. So it was great to see Nathan learn a bit more about his grandfather that way. Also, we see Professor Stein dealing with his younger self again as he tries to knock some sense into him about how he's treating Clarissa, because even Professor Stein realizes that his younger self can really get lost in his work and kind of neglect his wife. But he tries to tell him that nothing's going to matter except your wife later down the line. So there's that. And also Jax tries to help him out with that too. So moving on to the most shocking moment of the episode, I think I'd have to say the fact that Damien Darhk got to go into Eobard Thawne's little time travel device, dome thingy, and actually get to use it to go travel through time. That has me a little worried for that. So there's that. I'm actually surprised that Eobard Thawne will want to bring him along, but I guess we'll have to wait and see for that. But moving on though, the top 3 favorite moments I had for this episode. First one is pretty much a general vibe, and that was the comic banter, the comedic banter that we got through many of the pair-ups this episode. One of them being Ray Palmer and Mick Rory, especially when they're trying to work with their partnership, and especially when Ray had to defuse a bomb, and just Mick's overall reaction to it. He's having a snack while Ray is trying to scramble for enough time to defuse the bomb, saying, well, this is how we're going to die. I'm going to have a snack with it type thing. And then to have Mick give his encouragement and his support to Ray as Ray tries to find confidence in himself to defuse the bomb. So I really like that between them. You got a mix of the comedic commentary as well as the heartfelt support from that. Also, another one was between Sarah and Nathan. After Damien Darhk had disappeared with their mysterious speedster, Sarah reveals to Nathan that she had pickpocket the artifact out of Damien Darhk's pocket, and the sheer relief from Nathan and his pure joy from that, he's like saying, oh, like his reaction was, oh, can I hug you? This is a hugging moment. Can I hug you? And she's like, only this once. And he's hugging her with this huge smile on their face, and they're like celebrating over the fact that she managed to snag this. It's just a really great moment between the two of them. Definitely seeing something forward between them, either a really great friendship or something. But it's great to see that reaction. I definitely love that reaction between them. So there's that. Another comedic moment had to be when Professor Stein was pretty much yelling at himself in the Met Bay when they were both healing from the stab wound the younger version of him took from Damien Darhk. It was just very funny because when are you ever going to get in a situation where you're yelling at yourself? Like your actual self, not like... Yeah, you know what I mean. But that was pretty funny in itself, though. And it was also funny to hear Professor Stein say, I do not remember being that person, in reference to his younger self. So there's that. Another favorite moment for me has to be the fact that Nathan got to learn a bit more about his grandfather through Amaya. He definitely tried earlier in the episode, but she kind of claimed that we weren't supposed to fraternize, we weren't supposed to get close to the members of the JSA. But then later on to learn that she did have something to share with him. It was really great. I hope she has more things like that to share with him. So that was great. Another favorite moment for me has to be the fact that Ray got to defuse the bomb. It wasn't just the act itself, but it was that moment was pivotal for Ray to realize that he still has his brains. He doesn't need a cold gun to be a asset to the team. The fact that he has all this knowledge, the fact that he has this unique inner working of his head, the fact that he was able to even defuse a bomb to begin with, that is something unique to himself. So that moment was just fantastic to see him get that confidence back in his position on the team. So there's that. Top 3 peeved moments. First one definitely has to be the fact that Sarah revealed to Damien Darhk his fate to him and how he kind of his downfall, if you will. I mean, in the moment, I love the fact that Sarah had the restraint to not kill Damien Darhk, and I like the fact that she was tormenting him with the fact that despite all your hard work, I know that you're not going to win. I know that you die before your plan even gets completed, like that. Like, I really get, like, in that moment, that was great for her to kind of instill that that nugget of doubt that his plan would work. You can see in his face that he's becoming horrified at the fact that all of this hard work is eventually not going to pay off for him. So I did like that. What I don't like is the fact that he survived that knowledge to take with him. Like, now that he finds out that Sarah's from the future, now that he finds out that all of this stuff that he's been working towards doesn't work out, now that he knows that, he can easily change his actions and do something to change his fate. I hate that. If she were to torment him with that knowledge and then kill him, then I would have been all for that for sure. But the fact that he got to walk away from that with the knowledge, and now that, oh, she's from the future, she knows what's going to happen to me, I really needed to do something to change that. So that's really what pissed me off, because now he has the upper hand knowing that everything he's been doing so far doesn't give him what he wanted. So that's what pissed me off as well. Another peeve moment that I had was the fact that Damien Darhk is now traveling through time. I mean, won't that screw everything up that happened on Arrow season 4? I mean, that's always the thing with me. Like, anything that happens with Damien Darhk on this show pretty much puts in jeopardy what happened in season 4 of Arrow. The fact that Sarah is trying to kill him is going to mess up everything that he did in season 4 in Star City. And the fact that he's traveling through time now has to have me wondering, does that affect anything that's happened on season 4 of Arrow? So it's just that the whole bout of confusion, the fact that you're messing with an aspect, it's like you want to tempt, it's like you really want to stagger the line of whether this is going to affect season 4 greatly on Arrow or not. So there's that. Moving on though, what moment will I remember most when I look back on this episode? The fact that they were in the White House is a pretty big one. You definitely got to see a lot of throwback comments, especially with Professor Science, since he was still alive in a part of society at that time. A lot of our characters would have been kids around that time, so it's interesting to see them go to a time period where they're actually all alive and could possibly meet their younger selves in that. So there's that. Moving on to random questions though, I only have the one. What time period did Eobard Thawne take Damien Darhk to? Do you take him to the future? Do you take him to the past? Which is it? And how long before we get to see them again and see what kind of repercussions that little time trip did for them? We also still have to figure out if this is the same Eobard Thawne that reversed Barry's Flashpoint in the season 3 premiere of The Flash. So there's that. Moving on though, predictions, final time as 10 seconds are left. Based off the promo for 206, it looks like we're going back to the Old Wild West, and we get to see Jonah Hex again. Based off the synopsis though for 206, it looks like the Legends are still reeling from the news that their time-traveling nemesis is a speedster. There's the timer. When they are lured to an aberration in the Old West. When the Legends arrive, they find their old friend Jonah Hex in trouble with his arch nemesis Quentin Turnbull. The team soon discovers that they need to stop Turnbull and his gang from conquering the West and branding it its own lawless territory. To Hex's surprise, Sarah is in charge and dispatches the team. Rory is ecstatic to be in the Wild West, but Sarah makes Amaya work with him to keep him on task, which is easier said than done. Meanwhile, Nate, Ray, and Jax try to infiltrate Turnbull's gang, but find themselves in a shootout, leaving Nate's confidence shaken. Professor Stein is also in this episode. Only question I can think of now is Turnbull the same enemy leader that they dealt with when they were in the Old Wild West in season 1? Is he still the same leader that they were trying to stop or trying to help Jonah Hex with? Or is this a different leader? And is Ray still kind of the sheriff in town? So there's that. And also, how much time has really passed in the Old West since their last visit? And like how, because like for time traveling, if they really wanted to, they can go back to a few moments after they left the Wild West that first time. But that's pretty much the only questions I have left though, so that's about it, guys. What did you guys think of the episode? What did you guys like about it? What do you think is going to happen next? Let me know in the comments down below. I'd love to hear about it, as well as your own thoughts, theories, predictions of what you think is going to come. Also, don't forget to like this video, subscribe to my channel, and check out my other videos if you haven't done so already. If you want, check out my Tumblr page. The link for that is down below. I've reblog promos, web clips, quotes, GIFs, synopses, all of that. I try to keep up to date with that though, but if you want to follow me along on there, go do that. Also, WordPress account for me is attached to that as well. That pretty much links me to everything that is associated with me online, so go follow me there if you like as well. And that's about it, guys. So thank you so much for tuning in. I hope you come back next week to hear what I have to say about the next episode. But until then, guys, this is Mel wishing you a great day, great week, everyone. Bye for now.